Octagonal Gaming. Now we have another Madden 18 rebuild. And this is going to be a very interesting one. We are going to be rebuilding the 0-16 Cleveland Browns. Now we're going to start right in real life, sort of like Start Today in 2K. All you have to do is go into Cloud Franchise, and then click on Use Real Life Roster. I've not done this yet. And go to the latest week, which is week 17. Right there. I don't know if it's simulated or not. But the Browns, of course, went 0-16. The second team in history to do so. First one is my favorite team, the Detroit Lions, back in 08. So I'm going to stick with Hugh Jackson instead of a funny coach name because I want to see Hugh Jackson win this team a championship because it doesn't seem like he's going to get fired in real life, which I honestly disagree with since he's won one game in the past 2 years. Okay, so it did not simulate, but let's be real. The Browns will lose in this game. Guaranteed, pretty much. Injuries are still on, so we also get to see who Madden thinks is going to win the Super Bowl, unless the playoffs is different, which it very well could. Maybe the Falcons lose, potentially, and, oh my gosh, we won! Okay, so now I have to redo it, because apparently the game thinks the Browns are going to beat the Steelers. So I did force win on every game, just to be realistic. For whatever reason, they have the Ravens in the playoffs instead of the Bills, but whatever. So I do kind of want to see what Madden thinks is going to happen in the awards. Obviously, Madden's dumb, considering they think that the Browns are going to win. The stats aren't exactly perfect, but they're pretty close. Okay, now obviously Alex Smith is not going to win MVP. I think that's pretty clear. Maybe after week 5, but no. Cam Newton at number 5. No, Cam Newton was not that good this year. I want to see the offensive and defensive rookie of the year. AFC Kareem Hunt, not too surprising. Deshaun Watson at number 3, despite the injury. A little surprised Juju's that low. Juju was obviously better than Kaiser, and probably better than Nixon. NFC's went to Kamara. There's not an NFC and AFC offensive rookie of the year. There's just one rookie of the year. I think it'll go to Kamara. Christian McCaffrey in 2nd. Evan Engram at 7th. I think that's a little low. I think Evan Engram had a good year. Same with Tariq Cohen. AFC defensive rookie of the year, probably Tre'Davious. No, Desmond King. What? Okay, obviously Madden's kind of stupid because Tre'Davious White had a much better. Desmond King was pretty good. I don't really know how he did, but Tre'Davious White easily was the best defensive rookie in the AFC. Myles Garrett would be higher than 7. He only played like 10 games, but he was very good. Peppers, defensive rookie of the year, NFC. Okay, obviously, as much as I love seeing Jared Davis, it's going to be Marshawn Lattimore, and out of Lattimore and Tre'Davious White, it's probably going to be Marshawn Lattimore. I think Jared Davis had a really good rookie year. As a Lions fan, I'm impressed with how he played, but obviously Lattimore would win it, so obviously this game is stupid. Alex Smith winning MVP, and Marshawn Lattimore and Tre'Davious White not winning Rookie of the Year in their respective conferences. So, no one has a lot of XP, which does really suck, but we do have a Texans pick. So let's also see who wins the Super Bowl. Hopefully it's not the Ravens, because they're not in the playoffs in real life. I don't think the Bills are going to win it. Oh, wow, that was quick. I guess it's because it's on the cloud. Okay, Patriots and Saints. My current pick is Steelers and Saints, so pretty close. I'm not going to scout right now just because I'm lazy. I will later, obviously, because actually I might just turn on auto. We do have a lot of draft picks. That's like the only good thing about the Browns. They have 2 top 5 picks. And the Patriots beat the Saints in the Super Bowl. That's actually realistic. Finally, Madden's being smart. So I'm going to turn off all the injury sliders and all that stuff. Actually, Ben McAdoo goes to the Jets. He stays in New York. That's kind of funny. But I want to see all the rounds, just like out of curiosity. So in the wild card round, Jaguars won, Falcons won, Chiefs won, and Saints won. Probably what I'm going to pick as of right now. Maybe I'll pick the Rams. I don't know. Divisional. Patriots won. Falcons destroyed the Eagles. Jacksonville beat the Steelers, and Saints beat the Vikings, and then Patriots barely beat the Jaguars, and Saints beat the Falcons pretty convincingly in the conference championship, and Tom Brady beat Drew Brees in the Super Bowl. Hopefully Drew Brees will win that in real life, but we'll see. So I'm going to try to re-sign Josh Gordon, just because everyone loves Josh Gordon, and he ends up accepting. So we brought him back. We also are signing Rashard Hollywood Higgins because I like him. But he said that he's happy to be back on this great organization. So I think Josh Gordon gave Rashard Higgins his weed. Because obviously Josh Gordon's a lot of weed. But Isaiah Crowell, talented player. But I don't see him as the future at running back. I like Duke Johnson a lot. I don't think Duke Johnson can be like a bell cow back. But I do like Duke Johnson on this team. If the Browns can get a really good running back, maybe in the draft or in free agency, Saquon Barkley, hint, hint. But obviously this team needs a quarterback. I'm not sticking with Deshaun Kaiser like I did in my original Browns rebuild, which I do regret. We need upgrades all around. Of course, we have Joe Thomas there, unless he retired. Don't tell me Joe Thomas retired. And, okay, good. So, free agency. So, this, by the way, this rebuild won't be realistic at all. But free agency, no one is in here as usual. Oh, I thought that's a quarterback, but it's Tremaine Johnson, the corner. Yeah, really no one interesting in here, so I'm just going to go to the draft. So in the draft, we have the first and the third picks. I think it's actually 1 and 4 in real life. I think the Colts are picking ahead of the Texans. Obviously, this is definitely not perfect. This is the best I could get it. So there you go. So anyway, I do want to draft, unless there's no one available. I have not really seen this draft class yet. Also, if you guys want me to start like a cloud franchise, like with the real, like, this season, and just let me know in the comments below. I think I do want to. But we definitely have to look at quarterback. This is the best quarterback available, so I may want to look towards him. I'll make my pick off camera, and I'll show you in just a second. One position this team is pretty good at this year was cornerback. Jason McCourty, the veteran, had a very good year. Brian Body Calhoun as well, but Jason McCourty is getting up there. So I'm going to take Francis Goodwin, the first overall pick, and he is a beast. 83 overall quick development, the second best player in true talent. Hopefully the Giants don't take a QB, and they don't. It's a little bit surprising. So I think I'm going to take that quarterback, Marquise Christie. If he does not have superstar or probably quick development like he is normal, that's going to be a problem. Yeah, normal development quarterbacks don't normally do that good for me, except for Baker Mayfield and the Cardinals rebuild. So that's it. We are trading Coley, Caleb Brantley, and Jackson to the Broncos for the 8th overall pick. Coley and Brantley were not in my plans. We have a pretty good future at defensive tackle with Danny Shelton and Larry Ogunjobi, and Jackson's 65 overall. So I think I'm going to take the other quarterback, because 77 normal is like not that good, in my opinion, for a rebuild at least. Maybe for your actual franchise, he's going to be a good player, but for the rebuild's sake, no. So the Bears did take a quarterback, don't know why. But this is the guy I wanted anyway. I would have taken him over the quarterback. They took Anton Greenberry. Great. He's better, but that normal development, I think I'll keep this guy for this season. He needs to win Rookie of the Year and get a development upgrade, or else, yeah. We are going to trade down with the Chicago Bears. We traded our second-round pick in Jason McCourty to the Bears for their first rounder and their third rounder next year. And we also got Tariq Cohen. So I do want to start him next year, or Duke Johnson. I think I'd rather start Cohen because he has a little more upside and he's younger. Unless we get a better running back. We are going to trade down 10 second-round picks with the Bengals. And we're going to trade them our 5th and 6th this year. But we're going to get a second in return next year. I want to stockpile them picks next year too. Typical Browns fashion. Probably passing on a quarterback as well. That's all the Browns do. The guy I wanted is still available. It is Don Banks from Georgia Southern. This team needs a middle linebacker, and Don Banks looks really good. Oh. I don't know what to say about that one, guys. At least we stockpile on draft picks, I guess. Whoop-de-doo. We don't need a defensive tackle, but this guy is a baller. He skipped the combine, and he looks like a good player. I'm nervous that this pick is going to go wrong. Okay, 79 overall. This pick did not go wrong. Skip the combine. He said, screw off Roger Goodell. I'm not playing any of your games. And he looks like a beast. If only he had to develop. We are trading our 3rd round pick, Jamar Taylor, and a 5th to the Jets for their 1st, 2nd, and 3rd next year. Just keep on stockpiling. There are like 2 or 3 players who look very talented in like the 4th and 5th rounds, but there is no one in the 3rd round. When I say no one, I literally mean no one. So that's why we're trading this pick. There are 3 players I want with my 4th round picks. I actually do have a 5th. I think I'm going to trade up with that 5th to the 4th just so I can guarantee all my players. But we're going to take a quarterback first. Harris Vinatieri. He looks really good. And 71 quick. I think 78 normal is probably better. So this guy will just be a good backup and or trade. Next player I want is Jordan Stone, a receiver from Idaho State. He might not be that good, and he's a 72. 50 is best in true talent, though. It's probably just like that route running awareness and release. What's his release? I can't. 79. That's actually pretty good. I think the next receiver is better. I just hope he's available, because I think he's better than Stone. I just took Stone earlier because he's higher, and it's more likely he wouldn't be available with his pick. So I'm going to take Fisher Bell from West Virginia. He looks like an absolute monster, really fast, and he's 6'2", and he has very good top 3 skills. 80 overall. Drop the controller. Sorry to Tariq Cohen, but you no longer are needed on this team because we are trading Derrick Kindred, Septa Valve, and a 3rd-round pick to the Jaguars for Leonard Fournette. He's only like 22 years old. Superstar development, 88 overall, absolute beast. Duke Johnson and Tariq Cohen are pretty much identical players, and I'm going with Tariq Cohen because he's younger, and Duke Johnson isn't a contract year. And same thing with Danny Shelton and Larry Ogunjobi. They're about the same rating. But Danny Shelton's in a contract year, not Ogunjobi. So we're trading the 2 of them in a 3rd-round pick for Khalil Mack from the Raiders. 99 overall, absolute beast. So I have a plan. It involves Ken Crawley and the New Orleans Saints. We are trading Jay McCollins away, but he's 28. And he's on a pretty big contract, so I'm not really looking for him. Worst case, we keep Ken Crawley because he's a good young player, but I have a very good idea. So we're going to trade Ken Crawley to the Texans for Bernardrick McKinney. McKinney is a very good player, but he is another piece to my plan, so Bernardrick McKinney will not be staying here for too long. So my plan was to get Marshawn Lattimore from the Saints, and I was so close. I was so close. But instead, we're trading Bernardrick McKinney a 1st and a 2nd to the Bills for Tre'Davious White. Next best thing, not quite as good as Lattimore, but I'll take a good 92 overall superstar development 23-year-old cornerback anytime I get the chance. I want to get those picks back from Buffalo, so we're trading BM Body Calhoun, Deshaun Kaiser, and Christian Kirksey for those picks. Christian Kirksey and Body Calhoun are both very talented players, and Kaiser's pretty good too. Finally, the Saints are going to work with me. We're trading Joe Scobert and his 6th to the Saints for a very young and very good offensive tackle in Ryan Ramczyk. Here's a look at the team going into season number 2. Green Bay has a good offense, good players at running back, pretty good wide receivers, very talented tight end in Njoku, and a great offensive line, so we need him to win Rookie of the Year because he only has normal development. On the defense, Myles Garrett, of course, he's a beast. Defensive tackles, hopefully Hayer has a good year. Emmanuel Ogbah, hopefully he can get some XP on the linebackers. Khalil Mack's saving grace in the secondary. Very good depth at corner. Or not depth, but Tre'Davious White and Goodwin are good. Hopefully Jabril Peppers can have a good year, or else he's not going to be in the long term of this team. So let's get to the end of the year. At the end of the season, we actually made the playoffs. Green Bay is 30,000 XP. That's a Rookie of the Year. So Bell has 43,000. Pro Bowl, maybe? Yeah, maybe as a kick returner. That's nice. Njoku has a lot. Myles Garrett has a lot. Goodwin has a lot. Banks has a lot. Probably Defensive Rookie of the Year right there. Yes. Middle linebackers win it a lot, as we see. Saw, of course, Jared Davis got it over Marshawn Lattimore. So, Greenberry had a great year. Wow. 4,700 yards, 35 touchdowns, only 9 picks. That, for a rookie, is incredible. Only 9 interceptions is a big one. Leonard Fournette had a pretty solid season. Receiving, Fisher Bell had a great year. 1,300 yards, 89 catches. Sacks. Wow, the offensive line was very good. About a sack a game. Don Banks, 149 tackles. Sacks, I see a lot for Mack and Garrett. Both of them had over 17. That's pretty much all in the sacks. 6 interceptions for Francis Goodwin. Okay, he just built up a lot of XP. No awards, no Pro Bowl or nothing. So, this team played very well. Greenberry was 6th in MVP, and of course, this guy was 5th. That's great. I actually traded him to the Saints for a 1st-round pick, off camera. And the other rookie quarterback is 10th. My word. Good thing those two are in the NFC. Khalil Mack, Defensive Player of the Year. Greenberry, Offensive Player of the Year. Banks, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Fisher Bell was in 2nd. Stone was in 6th. So a very good season. Very surprised we made the playoffs. Let's see how we do. So we ended up making it into the 2nd round of the playoffs. We actually beat the Titans in the 1st round, but we got killed by the Steelers. And the Super Bowl is once again the Patriots and the Saints. So I'm going to XP everyone. Let's get to the offseason. There was only one good player who we needed to re-sign, and that was Khalil Mack. And we did that on a 7-year, $120 million contract. So we have Khalil Mack back. Nice. The free agency class was definitely pretty good. We got Jesse James because we do need a backup for David Njoku, Tevin Coleman for trade value, and Leonard Williams was a guy I really wanted. Emmanuel Ogbah hasn't quite developed the way I wanted him to, so I think I'm going to look to trade him, as well as Coleman. As I just said, I don't think there's I feel like there's another player we offered, I'm not sure. No, so we got the players we wanted. Cool. Corey Coleman nor Josh Gordon seem like that intriguing long-term option at wide receiver. So we're trading Larry Ogunjobi, a first-round pick in Judd, to the Bucs for Mike Evans. A glaring need is at both of the safety positions. I plan on drafting one in the second round, but we're trading the 31st pick, Kevin Zeitler. He's a good player, but he's on a huge contract. And a third-rounder to the Falcons for Keanu Neal, and a fifth and a sixth. We had a very solid draft in the first round. We took two centers, one's an 80, one's a 79. This guy superstar development. In the second round, we took a safety. He sucks. In the third round, in the second round, we took another receiver, C.J. Elliott. And then in the third round, we got another receiver, Le'Veon Johnson. I don't know which of these two I'm going to keep, because I can only keep one of them. I'm going to trade Corey Coleman and probably Le'Veon Johnson. I know he's quick development, but CJ's a year younger and he's better. I do not need Emmanuel Ogbah anymore because we have Leonard Williams, so I'm trading Ogbah, Cox, and a fourth to the Chiefs for the first-round pick. More picks for me. We're trading a second and third rounder to the Rams for the greatest name in all of sports, John Johnson the third. I almost said the second for some reason. Greatest name ever. Yes, it is. I definitely think I'm overpaying a little, so I kind of regret this. But I'm trading a third round pick and Corey Coleman to the Falcons for Devondre Campbell. We need a linebacker, and Corey Coleman doesn't really have a spot on the team, so there you go. We are trading Tevin Coleman, a second and a fourth rounder, to the Packers for Blake Martinez. Very good middle linebacker. So now our linebackers are Campbell, Blake Martinez, the guy we drafted to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Khalil Mack. Our last need is a nickel cornerback, and we're trading Le'Veon Johnson straight up to the Ravens for Jimmy Smith. So hopefully we can win the Super Bowl this year. We certainly have the talented team to do so. If last year's team made the playoffs, and this year's team should definitely be close to at least a Super Bowl. Here's the offense. Hopefully our quarterback can have a good year. Here's the defense as well. Very, very good. I do need to move Keanu Neal or John Johnson to safety. To 3 safety. They already are safety, but to 3 safety. I'll do that off camera. Let's get to the end of the year. At the end of the season, it looks like we're getting a first round bye. A lot of XP for Anton Greenberry. I gave him that quick development. He made the Pro Bowl. So that's good to see. A lot of XP for Joe Bitonio as well as Ryan Ramczyk on defense. A lot for Leonard Williams. He actually had a lot of that saved. 22K for Tre'Davious White. We went 11-5. So I'm going to XP everyone. I do want to see Greenberry's stats, but I don't want to see everyone's because I don't want this video to be too long. Greenberry, more yards, same amount of touchdowns, more picks, so probably a little bit worse of a year, a little bit more completion percentage. So very similar year, higher rating, but for more picks. So a little less worse of a season, but still a very good year for Anton. I simmed to the Super Bowl, and I have done it. Just 2 seasons after going 0-16, we're in the Super Bowl, and we're going to be playing the Philadelphia Eagles. So Greenberry's better than Carson Wentz, and we're going to prove that by winning the Super Bowl. Let's end this video off in style. Let's get the dub and give the Browns their long-awaited ring. Wait for it. Wait for it. And we win the Super Bowl 35-17. What a series, or not series, what a season. It only took us 2 years. We drafted 2 quarterbacks, with one of them being Anton Greenberry. He started off with normal development. I did not know if I want to keep him, but it looks like it worked out. And Marshall Yander retired out on top. Very good to see. And Njoku played really well. Myles Garrett played really well. All in all, such a great team.